What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Miles Apart.
Hi guys.
So, we're all eager by when I say all, especially me, and maybe the three other noses are paying attention to this podcast, but we're eager to hear more about your ultra marathon.
Okay, so I guess we could start
Walk
with
us through,
before.
yes.
Yeah, so on Thursday of last week, which was a couple days ago, like 2 days after the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
we I flew with two friends, my girlfriend and my family, to Utah. We flew into Salt Lake City and we got there at like 10:30. And then we basically just went to the grocery store and just bought so much. And then we had to drive 2 hours like to the Salt Flats straight there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I got to see the Salt Flats where my race would be. Um, I got to pick up my packet, and then there was like a pre-race meeting. So it was funny because the director of the race was this really sassy, bitchy lady. She was like, my it literally scared my like everyone that I brought. They were like, oh, like this is what it's gonna be like. Because she was like, yeah, like there's not a lot of flags or like good directions on the race. Like if you get lost, like you could definitely die. Like there's a desert part where you could just like
What?
get lost.
Oh my
And I was like,
God.
and she was like, yeah, in the dark, it's kind of hard to find the flags as well. So make sure you're going in the right direction, or we're gonna have to get a helicopter to pick you up. So
Jesus
af-
Christ.
after everybody was properly scared,
Mm-hmm.
we went back. I basically just like packed up all my stuff. I made like 8 to 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I'm sorry, I'm watching out of the window because it's just like raining. Like it looks like the earth, like the world is going down right now. It's just very interesting, but yes, I'm focusing now on you, not the weather anymore. My bad.
um, I made like 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I had like 4 or 5 like bags that I packed that would
Mhm.
like go in my running vest. Um, so I was gonna eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a banana, a couple pickles, a few dates, like every
Mhm.
like 30 or so miles.
Mhm.
Um, I went to bed at like 10,
When
and
was the start
then
of the race?
the race started on Friday at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
so yeah,
woke up.
10.
Yeah, so I woke up at 5 and had like a tiny little breakfast.
Uh-huh.
And really just packed up. We left at 6. The Airbnb that we stayed at was only like 15 minutes from the start, so we just like we all drove out there. Super windy. It was kind of
Mm.
cold, so
Mm.
I. It was funny. We like got there and kind of warmed up, and I got fully dressed and everything, and I thought it was pretty cold. And then I we all lined up, and the same sassy race director was like, "All right, well, there's a little bit of water on the course, but you guys can handle it." And then she was just like, "All right, you guys can go now." And we're like, "What? Like you didn't even there was no like
Gunshot or anything?
no." She was really like, "All right, you can go." We were all
What?
like, "What?"
How many people were at the start or like participate in general? Do you know that?
Um total there were like different distances. Total there were like 90.
Wow, only.
Yeah, no, it was a small race. She
Oh
said
wow.
when we were picking up packets, she was like, "Yeah, this is a small year." But
Okay.
yeah, so she said go, and I was so confused. And like it didn't even really hit me until like mile 5 or so that I really even started the race, you know?
Uh-huh.
Um, and honestly, the day before, like, I don't think I wasn't really anxious because I didn't feel like it was happening, you know? I didn't
Yeah.
really, I don't think I really understood what I got myself into. Um, but then I met some other runners and got to hear their stories while I was running at like mile 15 or whatnot. But it really didn't start till like mile like 22, where I was like, this is going to be a really long day because there were like no clouds, and I
Oh
was like, oh yeah,
no.
it's a perfect day. Like the sun's out, it's amazing.
Oh. Oh
And
no.
then by mile like 20 or so, the sun just like zapped me of my
Oof.
energy. And I was like, if I'm at like 20% of this race, how the hell am I going to finish? So
Wait,
I just
but
like, mhm,
so you were allowed to have a what's the name? A pacer from beginning on?
mm-mm. So the plan was to get my first pacer at mile 50. So I had to run the first
Oh.
half of the race by myself.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I didn't see my crew until mile 30. So the first 6 hours of the race, I was just completely alone, just in my
Oh god.
thoughts. And I hit like mile like 23, and I was honestly like pretty down. I was just like, man, this
No.
is gonna be so brutal
No.
because it was just so hot. And I was wearing like a long sleeve. Well, I was wearing all black.
Oh no. No.
Yeah, but I mustered my way through and got to mile 30 where I saw everybody, like my
Uh-huh.
parents and my friends. Um, and that kind of helped. They like replenished my food and whatnot, and I just like continued. I think I like changed my shirt to a short sleeve.
Yeah.
Um, but then I just continued. I was on good pace though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I typically in these races for like maybe 45 minutes to an hour, you'll just randomly meet people that are going the same pace as you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll just like chat and whatever. So I met two guys, which one of the guys was insane. His name was Bo, and he was like 41 years old, and he told me a story like a year ago, almost to the date. He was in his car trying to pick up his um, son at his ex-wife's house, and he got stabbed by a random Mexican dude twice and like almost died. His guts were like coming out.
What?
Yeah. And he had to like defend himself, like get the knife out of the dude's hand, was like literally stabbed like twice. And
Jesus.
and then he like was still in his car, so he just like floored it into the dude.
Oh my god.
And it turned out that the guy was only like 10 days out of jail. He had been in jail for like 20 years. He was just trying to kill that guy to go back in jail or something.
Wow. I
But
just
anyways,
don't
yeah,
really know.
you meet a lot of like crazy people. They have like insane stories.
So
Um,
compared to everyone, you're like a soft kitty.
yeah, yeah. And he had done this like 100-mile race or 160-kilometer race a month beforehand. And that
Like from the attack or from this race?
from this race, the race I did, he did one 4 weeks beforehand. It took him over 28 hours, like 28, 29 hours.
Wow.
Um, and he didn't even know about this race until like a week before he just signed up. Yeah. So
Wow.
we 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 get to like mile 35. I'm like very very in my head like this is
Mm-hmm.
not good. Like I feel like crap. This sucks. Um I
Mile
start to
38 in kilometers is like 50. or
Well, whatever,
6.
30, like 30 something percent of 160.
Oh, I'm so
Um,
bad in math. Oh, 48. So like 50. Yeah,
yeah.
roughly
So,
speaking.
so at that point, I'm just like walking, and I just tell myself, like, if I feel like really bad, I'm just gonna keep walking because
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather keep moving than like sit down.
Yeah.
And I knew like during the race that I would feel bad sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but luckily, I mile 41 was the next aid station.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they have like snacks, and this one actually had like pulled pork tacos and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, like I mean, I literally was so upset. Like I got there, it was 41 miles in there. Like, do you want some pulled pork tacos with like homemade pico de gallo? And I was like, no, I do not want that because I'm fucking vegan, but I didn't say that.
Oh, I can picture you being pissed out of your mind.
Yeah, he was just like, oh yeah, I get that. Like you don't want to run. You don't like to eat a lot when you're running. I'm like, yeah, totally. That's why I don't want it. Yeah.
Wow, we should make a comedy show. Matt's experience while running.
Uh, so I literally just chugged like 2 bottles of water because before that I was just drinking like electrolyte water, like sports drinks and stuff, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just so tired of it. I just wanted real water.
Mm-hmm.
So I just chugged that, and then I felt like way better.
Mile 43, you said?
41 ish.
Okay, 41-ish. How much time, like, what's the timestamp there?
Um, I would say 9 hours in.
Wow. Okay. Wow, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. And can you can you describe the scenery? Like what did you see? Was it just like what do you
Mhm.
see? Where did you run
So
through?
so the first 15 miles, have you ever seen pictures of the salt flats or been there?
I've seen pictures, but I feel like people who might listen to this podcast, just to like clarify, like
Hmm.
explain maybe.
So the salt flats, it's just a dried up lake bed, and it's literally just like miles of endless salt on
Oh
the ground.
wow.
And the texture is weird. It's kind of like a soggy crouton.
Oof.
So like it's not hard, but it's not super soft, and the salt just goes everywhere when you're running on it. Like it was like all
Ugh.
over my shoes.
Ugh.
Um, but it was insane. It like felt like I was running on a different planet. Like because like you could look like so far and not see anything. Like the mountains were so far away that they looked like they were floating in an ocean because of like the mirage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're literally running butt fuck nowhere on moisturized croutons.
Yeah. And then at mile like 15, you get to an aid station and kind of head towards the mountains. So it's kind of like a deserted mountain area, no real vegetation. The only like real plants and stuff are just like semi-dead shrubs.
Wow. So you were like in a dead zone, no man's
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, I mean literally there's like no life. I think I saw one lizard and like one grasshopper the whole race.
Wow. Okay.
Um, yeah, so
You're at mile 41. You just had to understand that you're vegan and you can't eat nice tacos.
yeah. So at that point, to get to mile 41, we had to climb up uphill,
Hmm.
and I like hated it. I just like walked up the entire thing. But I knew like I love to go downhill. So as
Hmm.
soon as I got up to the top, like I just zoomed down. Um,
How much of a elevation was that?
the uphill.
Yes.
Uh, the elevation wasn't like because the flat part is flat. Like I think it's almost at sea level. Or no.
Hmm.
I think it's at like 2 to 3,000 feet, which isn't that much. Maybe like 1,000 meters.
I don't know, but sure. Yes, let's go with that.
Um, so climbing, it was probably only like 1,300 feet.
Which is I'm gonna Google this real quick just because I have no idea what it means, and for people
300 or
listening.
400 meters.
Oh yeah, but still, that's some
It's a
elevation.
it's a it's a decent climb. It's not like it wasn't crazy. Like none of these climbs were like insane. It was just you had to do them while you're running, you know.
On a 100-mile run. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first half I'm really just trying to pace myself. So mile 41 shooting down, and then like a mile later you hit what they call the mud flats. And this is the part that the race director said that you should really make sure you know where you're going, because I literally almost got lost. But basically, it's kind of like the salt flats where it's just completely flat and like no life, except it's just mud. There's no salt, so it's just like an
Wow.
endless desert. And
Wow.
so for the 18-ish miles, or no, 8 miles, I say, um, you're just running on flat dirt, like no one around. Um, but honestly, that was one of my favorite parts because it just
Okay.
reminded me. It reminded me of Chicago. I was like, this is my forte because it was extreme headwind, like just like coming at you,
Oh.
and
Yep. Yep.
I was wearing AirPods at that point, so I was just like loving life, listening to music.
Let
Um,
me guess. It was some sort of Matthew soft music.
yeah. Um, but I actually passed like 2 to 3 people at that point because I was going so fast. I was going, so I wanted to go at like a 12-minute pace on average. And at that point, I was going at a 10-minute pace, which is pretty good.
Which is I remember you said 12 and that was like 6 something per kilometer. So much faster. That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah. So I think I was about like 3 miles away and I could see the my family's car in the distance.
Oh no.
And so I was so excited that I wanted to get there because the day before I had went to Chipotle and bought myself a Chipotle bowl just for this occasion. And I was like, I'm gonna feast on a Chipotle bowl halfway through. It's gonna be amazing. So for like 35 minutes, I'm just like looking at this car, like knowing that there's a Chipotle bowl right there. And so
I
honestly,
can picture I can
it
picture a meme of like someone like I don't know, like a duck running towards like food and is like food.
yeah. So I finally get there, like it, but it's funny because I actually beat my 50-mile record, like time.
Me like that's 80 kilometers and that's
So
what's worth
I got it in 11 hours. Um,
That sounds really
so
fast. Like what was the second fastest pace or like average pace before?
the average pace of what I did.
No, on like other 50 miles because you said it was your fastest one ever.
So yeah, well, I only beat it by 5 minutes, but still, like the
Yeah, come
thing,
on.
the thing is, like I beat the record of my 50-mile race record on a 100-mile race, so I still had another 50 to go.
Yeah, that's
Um,
I kind of want to lean out the window and say that's dumb to beat your record on the first half.
Yeah. I I will stand by it wasn't dumb just because I felt really good getting into mile 50. Like I felt so good. I was ready to go.
Uh huh.
Um,
I feel like there's gonna
but
be a twist at some point.
yeah, but that so I get to the aid station. I see my family and my friends and everything. They're like asking me what I need, and I'm sitting down. They have a chair for me, and I just open up that Chipotle like it's like the greatest thing on earth, and I just start going to town. And in like 5 minutes, I ate the like basically the entire thing in like five
OG
minutes.
Matt, OG
Yeah.
Matt, back at it again.
So I was like, yeah, I feel great. So this is when my first pacer came in. Candace came in, my girlfriend, and we had 7 miles together, like ahead.
Hmm.
And I was feeling great. And then we start to jog, and I'm like, oh, I need to like slow down and walk for a second. And very quickly, my stomach just starts to like feel like crap.
Oh no,
Yeah. So
no.
so basically, we just start walking. We walk for like 5 miles, and my stomach is killing me. And
No.
then I take the largest poop of my entire life. Like I had to like literally just go into the bushes and just like poop behind a bush. But luckily, I had packed toilet paper with me. Um, but I thought going to the bathroom would be beneficial for my stomach. Thought my stomach would be better, but it still felt awful. I was like burping every like couple of minutes, and I thought I was gonna yak
Oh
everywhere.
no. Oh no.
But then when I was like 6 miles in, so like mile 56, there was a runner that I had passed that actually passed me, and he's like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "No, my stomach hurts. I ate too much Chipotle." And then he was like, "Well, I have Tums. Do you know what Tums is?"
No.
Tums are like these like little like medicine things that you can like eat, and it helps your stomach if you like feel sick.
Hmm.
So I ate one of those, and I actually like really helped. I got to the next aid station at mile 57, and I kind of just like sat in the car to let my stomach settle a little bit, um, probably for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Had you
and then,
plans to like stop at these checkpoints and like sit down or okay, okay.
yeah. Um, so the plan was after that at mile 56, I had 4 miles until the next aid station, and I was just going to do it by myself. But Candace was feeling good, and we didn't run the 7 miles together. So like we literally just walked it. So it's not like she really even did much.
Hmm.
Um, so she ended up doing the next four with me as well.
Hmm.
But I was feeling really good after taking the Tums. So we were like hauling ass, like going pretty fast. And she was like kind of getting winded because she couldn't like
Keep
hold
up.
up. Yeah. But we finally made it. But at between those 4 miles, that's when it actually got dark. And when you're in the middle of nowhere, it's like dark, dark.
Oh wow.
Like you can't see anything. And the only reason why we could is because I had a headlamp and she had a headlamp. And we also had like these waistband things that had lights on it too.
Yeah. So what time is it at this point? It's like
Uh, it's probably like 12, 13 hours in, so like 8 p.m.
oh wow, it got dark so early.
Yeah. It
Oh
was
wow.
it got dark real quick. Like literally it got dark super quick, and then there was a full moon, and it just like came above, like went above the mountains like really fast.
Damn.
Um it was kind of exciting in the beginning. It was like, oh, like it's getting real, like getting dark. But as the night like went, I was just like losing my soul.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Sounds so
So
sad.
So I felt good for those until like mile 56 ish, or no, not whatever. What was it? 61.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Elliot actually swapped in with Candace, and he was my pacer for like 13 miles. So
Mm-hmm.
that brings us to like 72. Um, and those
Yeah.
were good. We we ran a lot of it besides the uphill. I changed my strategy to just like run everything besides the uphill and just like walk the uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was feeling good. It was funny because that section, it was so dark and the markings were so small. It was kind of hard to see. So Elliot would just like he was never running besides me. He would like run in front of me and like look and try to find like which way it is to go and stuff. It was funny. He looked like a little Boy Scout.
But that's nice. I mean,
No, yeah, it was nice. I didn't really have to worry about getting lost. I kind of felt bad for everyone that didn't have a pacer, which I think I was like the only person that had pacers, but
really?
because everyone else like they had to run in the dark alone in the middle of
Oof.
nowhere, and they
Oof.
had no help with directions.
Oof.
Um,
Yeah, so you said directions. Did your pacer, so everyone like have a map, or how did they
mhm.
know? Or
It was mainly just like keeping your eyes open, looking for. So they put flags down to mark the trails, but they put flags down every like 30 minutes. So like if you like kind of got lost and you were like, "Oh, I'll just run for 30 minutes," then you could have just like completely gotten lost.
but was there like a was it like on a small path where it made sense, like continue here for 30 minutes, or was it just like
Most of it was on small paths, but like the mud part at mile like 42, completely like middle of nowhere. You would have no idea. There were no like trails or anything. It was just dirt.
what?
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, but um I got to the aid station at like mile 62 or 63 ish. And I was feeling good, but it was funny because the aid station beforehand, I had asked my crew to go to Burger King and get me a burger and
Oh
some onion
no.
rings.
Oh
Dude,
no.
I messed up twice.
No.
So,
No.
so I literally like kill this burger and the onion rings in like 5 minutes.
No.
And I set out with another one of my buddies, Aaron. He actually drove from Montana to meet up.
Oh, that's the
Um,
guy who took the pictures.
mhm.
Got it.
We did like 6 miles together, and we walked the 6 miles because I was not feeling good.
Oh no, did you have to poop again?
Yeah, no, I literally took the second largest crap of my life, like like halfway through the 6 miles.
Ah.
Um, but we made it. It was literally like it's weird because during the night you'll see like the aid station like ahead of you because you can
Mm-hmm.
see the light
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, it's not that far, and then it just takes 10 times as long as you think it's going to take for you to get there.
I'm still
um
stuck on you had you committed the same mistake twice.
no, I was so excited. I was like, dude, I want Burger King so bad because Burger King has a vegan burger.
I know.
So I was like, oh, I'll eat that. um
Ah, this is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
yeah, because just like at that point I was so tired of eating bananas and pickles and peanut butter and jellies. I was like, I'm not eating another one. So why not eat Burger King and Chipotle?
Sorry. That's too good. Ah.
So I barely made it through that section. Um, but luckily, when I got there, like I gotta just. I think that was the longest I sat in the car. I just kind of sat there for like 20 minutes, just contemplating my life because my soul had been like literally removed. I was so tired. It
You
was
shitted it out. That's what happened.
because I had
Oh,
like, I don't even know. I had like 19 miles left.
oh God.
So
That's like,
I was 81 miles in. So I was 81% in.
wow.
And
That's like,
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I have ran 81 miles. And I still have 19 miles to go. Like that is just absurd. And I'm so tired.
that's like you did 128 kilometers and you still had 32 left.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So honestly, that stretch of I think it was like 7 to 8 miles after that was it was completely in the dark.
Hmm.
Um, Another one of my buddies like came in as a pacer, and I walked
Jake
the
Heineck?
entire yeah
Hmm.
I walked the entire thing, but he was good. Like I got to the point where I was just like bitching the entire time because I just felt like crap. Like we got to that point, and my heels were literally bleeding so bad. Like I had blood all over my shoes,
Oh,
like through my socks,
oh
and
no.
like my feet were so blistered up and like just
Oh,
disgusting.
oh God.
But it was funny because I was just trying to distract myself, so I was like asking him questions like, if you had to eat one fruit for the rest of your life, but it had to be a combination of two fruits, what would it be? You know, or some stupid question.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I like stayed sane a little bit.
Hmm.
At that point, I was so tired, like I could literally just fall asleep, like running.
Did you drink any like boosting drinks such as like caffeine based or any?
Well, I'm not a big fan of caffeine. I don't take caffeine like ever, so I was
Hmm.
kind of nervous to take caffeine. I didn't want it to like kill my body or anything.
I mean, you
I
had
took
once
like,
Chipotle and Burger King. Can't get worse than that.
yeah, I know. I I took a sip of a Monster drink,
Uh-huh.
but it didn't really do anything. It was still like because I only took like 3 sips.
Yeah.
But um, at that point, I was going so slow. Like we were walking at like a 22-minute pace. Um, it's 13.7 minutes per kilometer.
Yeah, it's a bit slower than before.
Yeah, I was going super slow. Um, but he was like, "Don't worry, like we're going up this uphill, and then once we get there, we have like 7 miles of downhill, like complete downhill." So we finally get to the top of this mountain, and I'm looking downhill, and surprisingly, as much as my body felt like shit, I was just like ready to go. And so we just start going downhill, and we are cooking. Like we are going so fast, it's
Let's
literally insane.
go.
Like all the entire crew was at the Airbnb, and they're like expecting me to take like another 3 hours. And we
Uh-huh.
texted them. We were like, "You need to be there in like 30 minutes because we're going so fast."
Wow.
Yeah, so we were going. Um,
For everyone listening, he's calculating the paces.
we were going basically 7-minute miles, which is 4.35 minutes a kilometer.
You did this after how many miles?
like 93.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Yo.
we were running downhill like 7-minute miles for like 4 miles straight.
Wait, that's like after over 145 kilometers, you're booking it at 4:30?
Yeah.
Bro, what?
That was like the best part. Like we hit the downhills and it was just I was blasting music on the speaker, like some like rap and stuff. It was insane. We were just cooking down. And
Wow.
we got to the flat part, but I continued. Um, and I think we were going around 9-minute miles, which is like a 5.6 minute kilometer per kilometer.
Bro, that's insane after like such a distance. Normal people don't do that.
Yeah, so
like normal people don't run that in average. You do this after over 150 kilometers or something like that.
yeah, I don't the sun came out and I just literally felt like a new person because I was just for the past like 10 hours just exhausted in the darkness of in I think like the good dark like really just brings out like the darkness within you, but then the sun comes out and you're like, I feel great.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like there was the last aid station, you had 3.7 miles left. So
Hmm.
basically a 5K. Um, and honestly, that felt like the finish line because I knew that I was just going to walk the last 5K with my family. So we were like going so fast to the point where Jake was tired, like really tired. Like I almost threw up just because I was running so fast.
Wow.
Yeah. Um,
That's insane.
but yeah, so the last aid station was great. I drank like a hot chocolate and kind of was just like all smiles and everyone was like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Like you're so happy right now and you look so good and like so ready to go right now. Like what is wrong with you?" I was just so happy to almost be done. Like I just wanted to be done at that point. I just like it
I
was
mean,
taking
yeah.
so long. So at that point it had been around 26 hours.
Oh my god. You're
Yeah,
running
so
20. Wait. So, after how many hours were you starting to book it downhill with Jake?
uh probably like 24 and a half.
I just don't even know what to say. Like, this is. You're not human anymore. Do you realize that?
It's just it's amazing how your body can like adapt. Like 1 second I'll be feeling like really bad or in my head and then the next second it's like I'm on cloud nine.
Yeah, I mean, but come
They do
on.
they do say in these races you get to experience what normal people experience, all the emotions and stuff. Um maybe for an entire year and or a month like in that span of
Time
24
frame.
hours, you know.
Crazy. Okay, so you're then the last. You mentioned last week that you wanted to run the last couple of miles with your dad to like get him into like sports and like healthier life.
Mhm.
Tell me a bit more about that.
So my dad was just exhausted. I don't think that literally anyone understood what was going to happen or like during the race. I don't think they understood that they kind of had to be up the entire time and be prepared. So everyone by then was just absolutely exhausted.
Oh no! Oh no!
So we get ready to go, just me and my dad, and then my mom and my sister are like, "Can we join?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." Um,
Hmm.
which was fine. Like I love my mom and my sister. I just kind of wanted to have a moment with my dad to
Hmm.
like talk to him, which we kind of did because my dad was much slower than my
Hmm.
mom and my sister, so they kind of like walked ahead and I got to talk to my dad, which was nice. But it honestly wasn't as emotional and stuff like that as I thought. Um, like we did talk about. He literally called me out, and he was like, "I know you want this to like inspire me and change my life and stuff like that." And then we talked about his eating habits and stuff, which was fine. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Hmm.
But you never know. I mean, it could inspire him. He said that it was definitely inspiring, and he can't believe that I actually like did it. Um, so we had a good conversation. We didn't have the exact one that I had thought I was gonna happen in my head.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that was just like a romantic version of it in my head.
Or maybe you
Um,
just didn't take in all the factors, like you said. I mean, they
yeah,
also had to stay up the entire time. You went through hell and heaven at the same time in those 25 hours before, or like 26 hours, and so I think that's also a factor.
yeah. So the 5K probably took, I don't even know, like an hour and 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Um, it was completely flat on the salt flats again. It was nice. I kind of just wanted to get the hell out of there and finish. So it was
No shit.
weird. It was weird because we get to the finish line and it's literally just like two barrels filled with water. No like real flags or anything. No like music. No congratulations. It was just like
No.
I get to the end and there's like the race director had like a younger daughter and she was just like standing there with like so they don't hand out medals, they hand out um belt buckles.
So American.
So they just gave me a belt buckle. I was like, and that was it. Like all they said was like congrats. But it was funny though because I got to the finish line and I was like, is this the finish line? They're like, yeah. And then I was like, nah, I'm good. And I turned around, and everyone was like, "Oh no, no!" And I was like, "No, I'm kidding." So then I like crossed the finish line and took the belt buckle, and really like it was so anticlimactic. We literally just got in the car and drove back to the Airbnb, and
Wow.
I was just so thankful to be done. I didn't even care.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
it makes sense.
so 27. It took 27 hours 26 minutes. Um, my bib number was 6, and I finished in 6th place, which was kind of cool.
That's nice.
Um,
6
this
out of 90 people?
well, no, I think so. There was only like 30 people that did the 100 miler,
Yeah.
but only I think it was only like 16 people finished.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. So, like, half of them quit during the race.
there was one guy that didn't finish, and he got to the last 5K aid station where there's only 5K left. He didn't get in the right enough time.
How do you mean?
So, like each aid station, there's a required time. They leave 3 hours left to do the last 5K because it can be kind of hard for people. So you had to
Yeah.
get it in within 33 hours.
Oh.
And so he got it like probably like 34 hours. So he was late. So he wasn't able to finish. And all he had was a 5K left.
Oh, fuck. Did 155 kilometers and then you're not allowed to stop, finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
But
Oof.
the crazy part is I finished that. I'm running for 26 or 27 and a half hours. Um, and it's like 11 a.m. when we get to the
Uh-huh.
Airbnb, and we have to leave at like 2 p.m., like 3 hours later to go to the airport.
Oh, no.
Like no one is packed up.
Oh.
There's crap everywhere, and I'm just like so exhausted. So Candace, thankfully, set up the bathtub in the Airbnb,
Uh-huh.
um, I was like freezing, but like had a fever,
Oh.
and I like made my way into the bathtub and kind of soaked in there. And she had to like go run and get like soap and stuff. And just in like the 2 minutes where she had to go get soap and then come back or whatever, I fell asleep in the tub, which is scary because like if I fell asleep and then I fell into the tub, I could like die, you know?
I mean, yes, but I'm also not surprised. I mean, you did run for 27 and a half hours, 160 kilometers. Come on.
Yeah. So she was a nice girlfriend and washed off my legs and my face and my hair and my body as I'm just like kind of like laying there like like kind of like dead. Um, and then I like got out and dried off and kind of like penguin waddled to the bed because my legs hurt so bad. My feet were killing me.
I mean, yeah.
Um, and just like literally just knocked out in 1 second.
Wow.
And then I wake up like an hour later and my mom had made spaghetti.
Clutch,
And I
clutch.
just eat a bunch of food and then we had to pack up and leave. So in like 30 minutes.
Oof.
And Candace was so worried about me that she ordered a wheelchair at the airport.
I love it.
So we drive the 2 hours from the Airbnb to the airport, which was fine. I think I fell asleep. I don't even remember, to be honest.
You must have. There's no way you stay awake.
We get to the airport. My parents drop us off, um, and they just go to the TSA like check in because I
Mhm.
had to check a bag, and the lady is like, "Do you need a wheelchair? It says you need a wheelchair." And I was like, "No, I'm good." So I just didn't take the wheelchair, and I'm just like hobbling along with my feet like all wrapped up and bloody and stuff.
Oh.
And it's funny because I forgot to pack for the ride home, like the flight home. So I was literally wearing a wife beater and pants,
A wife beater?
like a tank top.
Oh, that's called wife beater?
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
Oh my god. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
Okay. A wife
Um,
beater. A wife beater. I can picture you like walking around like a penguin and wearing a wife beater.
we
Okay.
we got dinner before the flight, and then we got on the plane, and I literally just passed out in 1 second on the plane. Um,
Yeah.
Luckily, I ended up getting an aisle seat, and Candace was right next to me, so I just passed out in 1 second. I actually remember waking up, and we were just about to land, and one of the flight attendants was like, "You need to put your buckle on," but I was so tired, I had no idea what she was talking about. I'm like, huh? And Candace is like, "He does have his buckle on," and I did not have my buckle on. So she's like, "It's right there. It's not on. Just like do it." And I was like, "What?" And I was just like, just put it on, and I was like so in a like daze. But we made our way back to our place. I think we got back at like 11 p.m.
Oh wow.
and I just hopped in the shower for a second on like freezing cold to
Uh-huh.
just like hit my legs
Mm-hmm.
because I was so inflamed.
Mm.
And yeah, like just went to bed. Next day, I it was such a blur. I literally just like laid in bed. I was exhausted. We actually walked to the grocery store.
You walked?
Yeah, we walked to the grocery store like a mile, so like 2 kilometers. Um, but besides that, I literally just that's what all I've been doing really is just taking naps and laying around. Um,
Yeah, you
it's
look definitely more tired than usually. I can tell that.
yeah, it's Wednesday. The race got done
Wednesday.
on Saturday, so it's been 3 days. Um, and honestly, I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm almost back to normal. My legs still are kind of achy.
Uh-huh.
But I want to go on a run today just to like feel it out.
Ye-
Um,
So everyone who's listening, first thought, he's insane. Second thought, he's still insane. Third thought, why the hell would you go on a run today?
well, to be honest, I would not go on a run, but I'm like in this run club where I kind of have to. I have to get like 11 miles in this week.
Wait, 11 miles? That's like nearly half marathon.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah,
So, recap. Would you do this again?
uh, it would have to be in a year because I just don't want to.
No, no, I mean just like ever. Like not saying in a week or two, like hell no. Like in a year, 2 years, whatever. Like, would you ever do it again?
Mm, I think that there's like a 70% chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might just be kind of too long. Like I could just do a 50 miler and I'd be fine, you know?
You figure 160 kilometers a bit too long?
It's just like so tiring. It just takes so long. Like it just it's crazy to me that there's races that are 250 miles.
There's more?
Yeah, there's races that are 250 miles. So two and a half times that.
Two. Wow. Okay. That's
People are just different. Like I have the ultra bug. People say like you people get the ultra bug and they'll run an ultra race and then they'll just love it and just do a bunch of races and go farther and farther, which I definitely had. I just think doing this, I just don't know how beneficial it is. It kind of just like took my soul for 24 hours.
was it so you mentioned this a couple of times this during this recording. Were you like alive, died, reborn, and then died again throughout this race? Or
Uh, I think it's more like I wasn't even there. Like there were just points where I was just not even my mind wasn't even in my body. It was just like so exhausted I couldn't even process it, so I just allowed myself to move.
wow.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't even sadness. It was just like feeling like you're a prisoner that just has to keep moving.
Oh god.
But
I kind of like I the thing is you tell it in such a like I can see how destroyed you still are. And I know you. So I do find it very, very funny at times, but I also feel very, very bad for you because I know how much pain you must have like been in, like and how much pain you must have been.
I think it's good for life though to it's kind of a life lesson to
Yeah.
just keep going. Um Life can get like hard, you know? Like certain things happen, you lose somebody or have a breakup or
Mm-hmm.
your job isn't the job that you thought it was going to be or something and you kind of get stuck and it's kind of just a life lesson of if you just put one foot in front of the other at some point life is going to get grand and you're going to be on top of that mountain going down. Views are nice, but you're the bad parts are always going to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just take it as it is, you can have like a different perspective. Like in the entire race, I never thought I was going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I could finish. It was just life is tireless. It like it just keeps going and no like nothing will stop time from
Yeah.
going.
If I would ever ask you to run a 50-mile or a 100-mile with me, would you do it?
100%.
Okay.
The best the number one thing that I learned during this race is that everything is way more enjoyable with people. Like
Yeah.
everything is better shared. If I did that entire race by myself, oh my god, I don't think I would finish. Swear to God, I don't think I would.
Yeah, no,
Just all the pacers that I had, they were there for me, and I just felt like more alive, even though I felt like I was dead at some points. Like I still had someone there next to me, cheering me on and supporting me, which is really important. Even like shorter races, you see like you run a half marathon and you're at 15K in and you see your girlfriend and it just like gives you so much energy, you know?
yeah. Hey, I mean, I can't compare it, but like at my half marathon race, I knew my girlfriend was gonna be at the end, and that gave me the extra power at the end that I needed. I was like, first of all, I want to show her that I can do it, and second of all, I'm gonna see her, and she's gonna have water for me, and hell yeah, I want to see her. But yeah, it's crazy.
In reality, it's honestly not even about the race, it's about the people. Like what I will remember the places that I went through, but I'll
Hmm.
definitely remember more like the miles I shared with people and the memories I got to share with everybody.
Let's make something. Let's make a not a bet. This is not a bet. This is a statement, and this is going to happen. Within a year, I'm going to do with you a marathon.
Okay, we can just do the one in September.
No, I can't sign up. I can't
Why?
do it in. Wait, which one is the one in September?
The one in the mountains.
Oh
There's
God.
there was the half marathon, but we could just do a marathon.
Let me first run a marathon before I run one in the mountains.
You don't have to go for
I'm
time. It
down,
could
but
just be fun.
uh oh wow. Okay.
I'll be training for a race anyways, so I'll be like ready to go.
I know you will be. I don't know if I will be. That's my biggest concern right now. Maybe September, maybe another one, but I want to do a marathon with you, and I'm going to say this in the next 5 years, we're doing a 50-mile one together.
All right.
What I understood is 100 miles a bit too long because it's during the night. So I'm a aim sunrise, sunset. That's my
There's
that's my comfort
also
zone.
you can also do a 50K, which is like 31 miles or whatever. That's an ultra marathon as well.
Hey, I mean, I don't care as long as it's anything above a marathon. I'm down.
It's awesome. I think road racing and trail racing is totally different. I mean, you
No,
know that
100%.
you grew
Yeah,
up seeing the
yeah.
mountains and stuff, so just running the trails is one. It's way more technical. You have to think about your steps. Like you don't want to run and roll your ankle or like trip and get bloody and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun to be outdoors and see the nature. And even though there was like no nature in my race, but like no livelihood at all because it was just nothing.
I'm honestly like astonished. Like like congrats. That's the only thing I can say. It's like there's like, I like want to say so many things, but it's just congrats. It's
Yeah,
insane.
my mom, we finished the race and we were going to the airport and she was just like bitching about like I'm hot, my feet hurt and stuff like that. And I'm like, sitting there, and I'm like, really, really, you want to say that right now? Because I'm feeling so great right now.
I'm sure your feet looked amazing.
Oh my god, I my feet have never been that swollen ever. I think I like went up an entire size shoe because my feet were so swollen.
Oh, was that as bad after a 50 mile run race?
Mm, honestly, it's better. Like my first 50, I was so wrecked I could barely walk for an entire week, and now like this race, it's not as bad. Honestly,
Oh, I'm such an idiot that I just told you I'm gonna do this with you.
my last 50, I got a really bad fever and got sick for like a week. And this one, I had a fever for just like the day of the race. Woke up,
Ugh.
I was tired and exhausted, but I'm not like sick or anything.
What is your biggest lesson that you've learned? Or like give me three things that you've learned throughout this race.
Um, any goal is, I wouldn't say easier. Well, I guess easier. It's easier, but more enjoyable when it's shared.
Uh-huh.
Um, if you never, if you always believe in yourself and you never think that you can't do something, you can do it. Like I never had it in my mind that I couldn't do it. Never once in my head did I think that I was going to quit because it was too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have in your mind that you're never going to quit and that you can go, it's like if you just go set out and tell yourself, I'm going to run a 5K today, you're going to kind of be tired after that 5K. But if you told yourself that you're going to run a 20K, you wouldn't be tired after 5K, you know? So it's
Yeah.
kind of just like telling yourself, having the length of miles or whatever in your head already and knowing that you can do it. Even when you feel like really bad, you have to have some sort of faith in yourself to not quit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess the funny one is just don't eat a whole thing of Chipotle during your
I was
race.
about to ask.
That was a terrible idea. I will literally never do that ever again. I will watch what I eat during a race. Like, God, that was terrible. And always have Tums on you.
Well, first of all, maybe don't eat Chipotle, and then you don't have to need
Yeah.
Tums.
Also, wear sunglasses because I didn't wear sunglasses the entire time.
Oh no.
And now my eyes are kind of fried. Like the day
Oh
after
god.
we like walked to the grocery store, I wasn't wearing sunglasses, and anything like mildly bright like fucked up my eyes.
Oh my god. You didn't think of this?
No, I did. It was just like I hate running with sunglasses, so I just didn't.
Yeah, but like the salt reflects.
Oh yeah, I know. It's pure
Oh
white.
no.
It's like the snow in the winter, like when you go
Oh, I
hiking.
know.
Like,
Yeah, no, it's a general thing. So I once went skiing with a friend of mine, and he said, "I don't need goggles," and I told him, "You will be blind tonight."
yeah,
Happened.
I literally. Oh wait, I forgot. I finished the race. I get in bed, and Candace is right next to me, and she's wearing black leggings. And I look down, and I'm like, "Why are you wearing red leggings?" Because my eyes were so messed up. I literally thought her leggings were red.
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was banged up,
Yeah, I'm not surprised to be honest with you.
but we lived to tell the tale. I'm pretty good right now. Honestly, it was cool because now Elliot and Jake, like my friends, they want to do an Ironman. Like Elliot was
I,
never into like racing and doing stuff, and he was like, I could see myself doing a 50 miler. I'm like, you could never even see yourself doing a marathon, but now like you see this, and he's like, well, yeah, it was really cool.
But the thing is, I mean, you've inspired me as well. I mean, a year ago I wasn't running, and then you start running, and I started as well. And the main reason is because of you.
The amazing thing is it's a positive thing, staying healthy and stuff, and that can unite people. It doesn't have to be a negative thing like staying up late, going out, even though I did stay up late for the race, but like that was a one-time thing. But it's nice to like make a friendship or spend time with people and not do something negative.
I mean, sports unites people, just like you said. It's one of the strongest things, emotions it can create, share, too. Should we bring this to an end?
Yeah, I just feel like I just let out everything out of my system for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, this episode is about you because no one can trump this week's info.
Next time I'm just gonna hound you. Next podcast, I'm just gonna like ask you a bunch of questions.
Darn it. I have to do something special this week.
Yeah, you're kind of on the decline. You need to do something cool.
Okay, I'll do a 200-mile race tonight. Okay, well, this was extremely interesting and a bit comedic um, for me. I hope you're going to feel better and good luck on your race today. And to the listeners, be back next week.
Peace out, homies.
Bye bye.